All right, so for this activity, I've created a new blank file just called input, and we're going to do a very simple line here where we're just going to take some input and store it and then print it back out. So the first thing we need to do is create some type of variable that we want to store this in. So I'm just going to call this value. You could call it really anything, my variable, whatever you want to call it. And then I'm going to set it equal to input. Now, why am I doing this? Well, if I do an input, then I want to store it so I can then use it later. So input kind of takes that information. And if it's not stored, it just discards it. It just goes away. So it's really important that you store it in a variable of some type in order to use it. Now, you'll notice that as I start typing this in, I get this kind of nice prompt that tells me, hey, there's a parameter that goes in here, and it's actually just the prompt, which means what am I going to ask the user when they are going to enter a variable? So in this case, I'm just going to say, please enter a value. Okay, so it's a string. It's just telling them, hey, do this, right? And so in this case, I'm just asking them to enter a value. Now what I want to do is I want to take that value and print it back out. So I'm going to say print, and then it's just very simply value, right? Because this is how we print a variable. I could add more to it if I want to, but we'll just do value to start with. So I'm going to then execute the program, and what you'll notice is down here in the run window in the console, it'll say, please enter a value. And so I can just click here, and I can type in, let's say, 25, and hit enter, and you'll see that 25 is returned to me, and then the program ended. It's that simple. I can continue to modify things. So here I might say um, the value was, and then plus value, and I can run it again. And I can say this time I'll do 15 and enter, and the value was 15. So you can see it actually is storing and then reproducing that. Now, we'll talk a little bit more in this lesson about why that might be extremely valuable, especially in the case of our drone. A couple things to keep in mind. When I'm doing this, I actually, when we start doing the drone stuff, I actually have the controller plugged into my computer. That's the only way this is going to work. So make sure that you have that controller plugged in and paired with your drone before you start trying to store these values and then do things with the drone. Otherwise, it will not work.